blog, It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken, and I'm also the author of the cookbook, Fuss-Free Vegan. Today we are gonna make vegan creamy coconut mushroom pizza. Yes, it is an unusual combination, but it is oh so good, yeah. If you like white pizzas, this is a super delicious, creamy, rich white pizza. Delish. I highly recommend you try it. So let's get to cooking. So first things first, let's prepare the mushrooms. When you saute mushrooms ahead of time, they're going to be so delicious, extra flavorful, and they're not going to get kind of like gross and dried out like mushrooms can do on pizza sometimes. This is going to be key for making this pizza up a few notches. I'm going to take half of a yellow onion, chop up this dude, beautiful. 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna mince these guys up. If you give them a good thwack like that, they're already like half chopped basically. And I just run a knife through them and they're perfectly good to go. So I'm just doing, you know, regular sliced size mushrooms. Is sliced size a size? I don't think that's a size. But I am slicing some mushrooms. Mushrooms are sliced. This looks like a giant pile of mushrooms, but I assure you it's gonna cook down. It's not gonna be that much in the long run. It'll be just the right amount. Move over, onions. Gotta make room for more friends. I'm also gonna prepare my fresh thyme for the coconut sauce portion of this recipe. So I have lovely fresh thyme here. Holding the top of the stem and running my fingers down, and that just pulls off all the leaves. So top of the stem, run my fingers down, and all the leaves come off, except for maybe that top, which needs to do that. And that's how you remove the thyme leaves from the stem. Yeah, just adds a little, to kind of everything you add it to, you know? Just a little Prince kiss. And I'm also gonna zest some lemon. This is a zester. If you don't have a zester, you can use the small whole side of a cheese grater. And that will work just fine. Perfect. Hello, juicer? Here you are. Juice this lemon up. Perfect. Okay, so all of my ingredients are prepped. I'm good to go. So let's start by hopping over to the stove and sauteing up some delicious mushrooms. Here we are, ready to make some delicious mushrooms. So I have vegan butter in my pan. I'm gonna turn on the heat. It is melting. Now adding the onions and garlic. I want to saute this for about 5 minutes until the onions turn translucent and begin to brown. It's going to smell delicious and oniony. Waiting for onions to cook. La 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 la. Patience is a virtue that I do not have. I'm incredibly impatient. So, waiting for things to cook, even though it only takes 5 minutes, not my favorite. Onions and garlic are looking delish, smelling delish. So now time to add all the mushrooms. Get in there. No, mushrooms overboard. Oh, no fun guy gets left behind. There we go. So really? You want to make sure the mushrooms are kept at like a medium heat, not too high, so that they can start releasing their water as they cook. Beautiful! My mushrooms have cooked down. They've released they released some of their juices and are smelling delicious, and this is going to be perfect for the pizza. So we're going to stop here and set these mushrooms aside. Get in there. And now to making the coconut sauce. So keep that pan going. It's perfect that it's dirty. It's got all those delicious flavors in there. So to make the coconut sauce, adding another tablespoon of vegan butter. Okay, settle down. Sprinkle a tablespoon of flour over top. Well, that wasn't a very good sprinkle. And mix that together to form a little bit of a paste. You're just gonna have this like tiny amount of sludge on the bottom of your pan, and that's just what you want. This is actually called making a roux, and you just want this butter and flour to cook for just like a minute until it becomes a little bit fragrant, just to cook out that flour taste. And this is gonna help make the sauce thicken. So now that, I am going to add my coconut milk. Delish. And whisk this in to get all that flour off of the bottom. My lemon zest and thyme here. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And whisk that in. Whew. Just adding those flavors, you can smell it. It smells so good. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on this and whisk it every now and then to make sure it doesn't burn, it doesn't stick to the edges or anything. And I'm gonna cook it about 5 minutes until it makes a nice thick coat on the back of a spoon. That's how you know it's done. So I'm just gonna thicken down a little bit. Smells so good. This sauce is looking a little bit thickened and bubbly, gorgeous. I think we got to do the spoon test to make sure it's done. You see how that's formed a nice thick layer on the back of the spoon. It's not coming off. That's the texture you're looking for. So I'm just gonna set this aside and let it cool a little bit, and let's hop back over to the other side of the kitchen. We're gonna stretch out that dough and assemble the pizza. Time to roll up those sleeves. And by roll up, I mean pull up. Now to stretch the pizza dough, lightly flour your work surface. Obviously make sure it is a clean work surface, please. On top of that, put your pizza dough. And I'm gonna sprinkle some more flour on top because my dough feels quite sticky. Then I'm just gonna smush this down until I have a gorgeous pizza shape. Press and pull and knead and do all the things you need to do until your pizza reaches pizza shape. I have a recipe for my go-to pizza dough in my cookbook, Fuss-Free Vegan. I'll put a link up here to my cookbook, or you can just buy store-bought pre-made pizza dough, whatever you like. Traditionally, pizza dough is almost always vegan, so just double check the ingredients, but you're pretty much gonna be good to go. Of course, if you wanna use a gluten-free pizza crust, you can do that. I am not a good pizza dough stretcher person. I have friends who used to own a pizza shop, and they could do this like in 2 seconds and throw the pizza dough in the air. That is not my talent. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to have that talent to make good pizza taste delicious. No, 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 no. If it's sticking, just add more flour. My pizza dough is more or less stretched out in an odd, peculiar shape, but that's okay. I'm gonna fit it to the pan. So I've got my lightly greased pizza pan here, and let's just plop it on here, and then you can kind of stretch to fit. That's what we're gonna go for. So I got my pizza crust all stretched out there. Beautiful, I love it, it's perfect, it's amazing. It's a little bit thin in the middle and you can see through it, but we're not gonna point that out. Now we can assemble this pizza and chuck it in the oven. Grabbing my mushrooms, where did they go? So with the mushrooms that you had set aside, just dump them all on there. Spread them out nice and evenly. Ugh, smells so good, I love mushrooms. Okay, so those are nicely spreaded around. Spreaded? That's not a word. And now the coconut sauce. You're just gonna pour this coconut sauce right on top of that mushrooms, making sure to cover everywhere that you can. I'll just lightly spread the sauce to make sure everything is nicely covered right to the edge. Beautiful. And here it is. At this point, you might look at your pizza and say, I've made soup pizza. What have I done? Don't worry, I promise it's gonna turn out beautiful. Time to pop it in the oven, and I'll see you in about 18 to 20 minutes when it's done. And then we're gonna have a taste test, and then it's gonna be delicious, and then we're gonna eat pizza, and we're gonna be so happy.
Moments later.
Woohoo! It is pizza time! The best time is pizza time. I'm crazy. So I pulled my pizza out of the oven. You can see that it was golden and bubbly and delicious, and then you just want to let it cool for like 5 to 10 minutes. I know, it's really hard to do, but trust me, you want to do that. Otherwise, all your toppings are just gonna go sliding right off, so you want to make sure to let it cool and set just a little bit. Let's grab it, let's taste it, let's get to pizza time. Gorgeous pizza! So I'm just gonna slide it onto my cutting board here carefully. Oh. Cut a slice here of pizza. Oh my god, see, I didn't even really wait for it to cool enough. I'm the worst. The cooler you let it get, the more set it's gonna be, but right now it is going to be creamy and delicious. Do you see that? No one is gonna hate this pizza unless you hate mushrooms and coconut. But other than that, no one's gonna hate this pizza. Oh, I need a second bite. It's that good. Hot. Oh baby, that is one mighty fine pizza. If you're a mushroom lover kind of person, you're gonna love this pizza. I highly recommend you try it, whether you're vegan or not. It's just a delicious pizza. With coconut, you taste it, it's a little bit subtle, but it's got a really cool combination with mushrooms. I actually use coconut and mushrooms as a combination together quite often because I've fallen in love with that. The thyme, the lemon adds a little freshness, a little yumminess, a little yum-iness. I just said that. And it makes for one really nice, rich, delicious pizza. I'll put a link to this recipe right here for you, and there'll be one in the description as well, so you can try making this pizza for yourself. I hope you like this recipe, and if you do, let me know by leaving a like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna be posting a brand new video every single week on Wednesdays this entire year. That is my New Year's resolution, so make sure to follow me along on my path. I don't know why I keep doing this a million times. And don't forget to visit my blog and follow me on my social medias for more delicious veganess, and I'll see you next time. Bon appetit!